Hey folks, how you all doing? This is Con Over coming to you with another Company of Heroes 2 Fight Night. Today we have the Invincible Irish over here, the Brit player, playing against our lovely, excuse me, that tries again, there we go, sorry, our lovely OKW player, Jove. And Jove gets a ton of press on a lot of gaming channels. If you ever watch Magpie 842, you watch, Tightrope Gaming, definitely good people to watch if you want looking for Company of Heroes 2 action. Jove is often on a lot of these replays, and if you really want to learn good build orders or some really interesting kind of like off-the-wall things, Jove has definitely got to watch. Like already, we see him opening up with 2 Kubelwagons as his pioneers kind of troop around the map. And as everyone kind of gets themselves set up as we breaking into the early game here, this is a Kolodny Ferma Winter. So apparently, Kolodny means, village in Russian, but not that I ever knew that before. But it definitely has a lot of interesting things to kind of preach. Ooh, it's pretty interesting already. Excuse me, let's get back over to this meeting engagement going on right now. The Kubelwagen apparently is moving in pretty early on to kind of frustrate these Tommies, and with the Tommies kind of caught out in the open, it should at least be a fair fight, if not necessarily an even one per se. Of course, if the Tommies move anywhere close to that, yep, they move into the garrison, and that's going to be pretty much a signal for the Kubelwagen to back off. I'm not entirely sure why he's not doing it just yet, maybe because he's, oh, interesting, he's bringing the other Kubelwagen in to pick up the strategic point in the meantime. Excuse me. Guys, as we kind of watch this little engagement happen right here, and actually, let me turn down the ambient sound for you guys just a little bit. I do have to say, guys, thank you so much again for all this love you show this channel. Since I actually started casting these games, we are up an actual ton of subscribers, and I'm just blown away by the response you guys have given me. I feel, blessed, and I appreciate it so much, guys. Thanks for the support. I hope you guys keep it coming so I can keep making videos for you. As we just noticed now, one of the Kubelwagens backed off to go ahead and kind of get picked up by this Pioneer squad, even as he is capturing this southern munitions point, which does leave us in kind of a very, not boring position, but kind of a very even position, more or less. The Kubelwagen is going to get forced away. We have the kind of dominating house right here, which really, the second he puts any kind of machine gun into, these Brits are pretty much screwed out of the center part of this map. But yes, as things kind of slow down a little bit, I'm surprised we're getting a 4th Tommy squad coming out of the Brit player, as opposed to kind of trying to either check up and go for their weapons racks. And Jove, I think at the same time, isn't really going for a whole lot either. I'm actually kind of surprised he's not looking to purchase another truck immediately, but I guess it would take him a little bit more time to get the resources necessary to really make that valuable. But instead, what do we see over here? We see ourselves a nice little squad of PGs coming on in. And I'm just going to back out to this map real quick so we can kind of see how this map is developing. This kind of tends to happen, I guess, more or less. You kind of see this kind of north-south divide as opposed to more of an east-west. Obviously, there we go, there's an upgrade. And I imagine we'll see a second truck coming out pretty soon from Jove. He's investing a little bit more heavily in the first tech as opposed to anything else. But now, as we have these first squad of Tommies going back, it's kind of interesting to see whether or not the Tommies start to kind of expand into, okay, we already have one coming out with medical supplies, so he's going to start healing people around him, which is pretty easy to do. And maybe what I'll do is I kind of move up here to see this little meeting engagement again between Sturmpios and Tommy sections to go through the commanders real quick. So Jove is packing in Elite Armor Doctrine, kind of allow you to kind of repair things. It's definitely a vehicle based tech tree. We also got Scavenge Doctrine, which is definitely good for those infiltration tactic grenades, and my favorite, my favorite probably armored vehicle that's not a massive, huge tank might be the Ostwind. So that's my favorite tank there, or my favorite armored fighting vehicle. And last we have Special Ops Doctrine, which again has those awesome tactics grenades, as well as the STG-44s, as well as that Panzer V command tank. And interesting enough, Jove is actually down. He's going to be almost, oh no, it looks like he's going to trade out even. Okay, so I was going to say he's going to go down 2-0 in VPs, but, or strat points, but he's actually looking, he's evening that back up. Is he finally, please tell me he's finally, why is he not going for another truck? That's very surprising. He's investing a heck of a lot in this first tier, but seeing as how these Kubelwagens are starting to really abuse these Tommies, maybe that's more of a reason. And as these Tommies back away, and we see these Germans up here getting this cutoff, which is really going to frustrate British fuel income. Let's take a quick look at the British supplies and kind of going from there, of all their commanders rather. So a mobile assault regiment, which has a land mattress, which I'm not sure when they're going to finally debuff. Vanguard operations to bring in commandos and all that kind of good stuff like that. And advanced emplacement regiments, which basically makes everything that the British build way stronger. And excuse me, did I say PGs before? I meant Volksgrenadiers. For some reason, I have this whole Panzer Grenadier thing on the mind, and for that, I'm actually going to blame my brother, who was telling me about the original Company of Heroes game that he picked up again the other day, and basically how broken the PGs are with Panzer Elite once you get them in like any kind of close to critical mass. In the meantime, we do notice that these Brit players are trying to either frustrate the German fuel supplies or to kind of capture up their own areas again. But even in return, the Volksgrenadiers are trying to take the fuel points and maybe, if nothing else, get a little bit of benefit for themselves. Alas, the British attempts are kind of foiled. They kind of get forced away pretty quickly. And these Germans right here are definitely going to dominate this crossroads and have an easy retreat back into this garrison, which is definitely a great place to go. And if they get any kind of suppressive weapon into that house, it's going to be quite a force to stop. But yes, now we finally have ourselves another tech building going up, and where is that being placed? The mechanized regiment is being placed a little more forward, which means we might see maybe a Panzer II coming in soon. Kind of an interesting idea, but with an AEC coming out, that's going to be mitigated an awful lot. It's a fairly quick AEC too. I mean, not the fastest I've seen. I've seen like a 5-minute, 5:30 kind of AEC from a lot of British players. But a 6:30 isn't too bad, and the Germans have absolutely no AV really right now. That's going to be a big issue. But here comes the AEC. Wait, the Germans still have that point up here? Wow, that's impressive. Huh. How about that? So these Germans continue to hold on to that fuel point, and they might even pick up this Tommy squad? Nah, probably not. That retreat is definitely lowers a lot of the received accuracy going on there. But you see Jove pretty much showing why he dominates this scene so often. If you can see this map, he has all 3 VPs. So you got the Invincible Irish under a trip cap right now. And even though the AEC is coming online right now, I imagine we'll see, oh no, there's a Puma coming in instead. Interesting. An interesting choice. Definitely the right one under the circumstances. I was really hoping for a Panzer II. Again, like a light vehicle is always a lot of fun. And the AEC hits a Schumann and definitely gets a little bit of damage going on there. So if that Puma comes in quickly enough, we will see a pretty dead AEC and a massive waste of resources, really. See this garrison right here is just getting dominated by these German forces. We have 2 squads now of Volksgrenadiers in here. And if that Puma doesn't come in, I think that Panzer Schreck might be more than enough to pick it up. But I think that Puma's going to be able to come in just fine and pick them off. But until then, the AEC is going to pick on those poor defenseless Sturmpires as they try to run back through everything. And one more shot's going to seal the deal for that AEC. Of course, they deploy smoke to kind of back them off a little bit, but I do not see anything really coming from that. Where's that Puma? The Puma's coming in right now, as you can see, coming up north. And although these Sturmpires are kind of forced back, here comes that Puma rather to pick things up, and I don't think they have any kind of... No, they don't. They don't really have a whole lot of AV going on right here for the British. So without any kind of 6-pounder anti-tank gun coming out, it's going to be really rough to get these Brits back into this game. I'm not entirely sure even what the best choice about this would be. Let's take a look real quick at this tech. Let's see. We've got 6-pounder is probably the best way to go about it, but he's not going to have the manpower for it for another minute or two. Interesting maybe to go for the sniper, but it's not really going to do a whole lot, especially this could get chased down and rocked pretty darn quickly. And geez, if you have the Kubel wagons too to kind of run interference for them at the same time. And finally, actually, it looks like we might be able to force out these Germans from this awesome house, this dominating house. But there's a Schumann right here too, and it just almost wipes that entire squad by itself. Takes out 3 models of one squad and 1 in the other. And they're pretty darn lucky right now that Jove has not quite picked that up. And somehow he's still running shot. The 1 survivor goes and picks off a German through the window. And it looks like if Irish has picked up a commander, it looks like it's going to be Vanguard operations, so that way maybe he's going to throw down a glider to really try to take advantage, well, to open up a second front, really, another part of the map. which he definitely needs right now. I mean, good lord, looking at this map right now, it's not looking good. He has almost no income. His fuel income is in the toilet. It's really unfortunate, actually, too, because he really should be in a lot better position than this. And I think really the big issue with that is not deploying this 6-pounder AT gun coming on the field until 10 minutes. I mean, losing the AEC was definitely a rough spot in the first place. But, I'm not liking what's going on with that, you know? Maybe we see now even this Kubel Wagon and the Puma together are forcing off this 2-star vet Tommy squad. We have another one coming in with medical supplies. Maybe it might be a better option as well for the Irish to start going north, start going south, pretty much anywhere that those armored vehicles are not, or even the unarmored vehicles are not, and try to grab some superiority and pick up some other territory in the meantime. But it looks like that 6-pounder's been brought onto the field, and that Puma just begins the whole task of just circle strafing like crazy because there's no other AV known to mankind. Which means that this 6-pounder's going to be forced pretty much back to base the entire way. And he's already starting to pick on that poor AT gun. Maybe a Piat might be a good option in the near future, but that's kind of a tough thing to handle in the meantime as well. But it looks like even in the meantime, though, the Irish has picked up another strategic point. Even though he's going to lose that in a second. He has decapped another one. I just want to kind of keep on this AT gun going down, because I kind of figure the death of the AT gun is a huge, huge mountain for those poor Brits to swallow, to climb. Jeez, what was I saying there? Mixing metaphors like crazy, excuse me. But now, of course, as these Brits kind of move in, this cover right here is not going to mean a whole lot since the distance is less than 10 meters, which is going to give a ton of advantage to the Shrimpayos, which you'll see right there. And somehow we just lost an infantry squad, and forgive me for not seeing where that was. I'm guessing, I have no clue. But now we have the Brits back in this kind of central house, and maybe that might allow them to kind of push things back a little bit more in their favor. But unfortunately, 12 minutes in, they're already down an absolute ton. And let's take a quick look again. Jove troops are definitely, there's a lot of unit preservation going on here. We have 9 stars of vet across 5 different squads already. And with the kind of map control that he's got, he's just dominating. And here comes a third one. Here comes a third truck. Is it going to be the battle group headquarters? Probably not, because right now he doesn't need to really worry too much about health of his infantry squads. And I think he's going to have the fuel when it comes in to deploy that Schwerpanzer. Yeah, he's got more than enough to convert the Schwerpanzer, and that would definitely be enough to kind of close things out here. Yeah, good lord, it's rough right now. And of course that Puma just kind of parks right next to the house. And a big issue right there. How is the Irish going to come back into this? I really do want him to kind of tech up or maybe deploy that. Wow. He's just not going to be able to get that for a while, is he? Yeah, I would say so. Oh, it's the Sturmpires are a little bit freaking out. That makes kind of sense too, I suppose. But alright, so where is this SWS right now? This is definitely going to be a Schwerpanzer. And frankly, right now, I don't see why it shouldn't be. He's got the fuel income. He's got crazy amounts of fuel income. In fact, he's going to pick up this other fuel point again, and he might lose his Kubel Wagon, which I don't agree with. And there goes that Kubel Wagon. But I mean, a Kubel Wagon lasting until 13 minutes isn't too bad. Okay, so I won't say that the Brits are completely out of it, but I will say their position is extremely difficult right now. Especially with taking these kind of disadvantageous fights where your troops are outnumbered like 3-1, 4-1. He's going for another AEC, which I'm not sure I agree with either. I really would like to see a little more tech up options. I could see that fuel being advanced to a much better possibility. But hey, you know, if you think it works for them, he thinks it works for them, so I'm not going to go in and try to tough talk him too much on that one, I suppose. But that 60 fuel, yeah, it could definitely go someplace else, I kind of feel like. And we're just going to jump over here to this kind of meeting engagement again. These Volks Grenadiers again, okay, chucking out a Molotov cocktail this time, or incendiary grenade, really. Probably going to force these Brits into retreat, and they do. So Jove continues to stranglehold on the map, and even though we have these Brit forces moving up here to the north, any victory they have is going to be pretty much mitigated pretty darn quick.
Armored car completed.
And there's the armored car, just in time to find the Schwerpanzer coming out. And when did this battle group headquarters go down? Forgive me, guys, for kind of missing that one. But This Schwerpanzer headquarters now is pretty much dominating the center part of the map, and it's not really going to matter too much what the Brits really go for in the immediate future. The Puma has enough mobility to kind of keep dancing around people, and he's got the firepower to fight the AEC to a standstill, and that AEC is going to hit quite a rude awakening when it goes into that Schwerpanzer. Oof, the main gun destroyed, so that's definitely going to be a retreating AEC. And we also see Obersoldaten coming out. So Obersoldaten are definitely going to be way better than your kind of standard line in the first place. But even on top of that, if he picks either his second or third commanders here, he's going to have those STG-44s. And let me tell you, that's going to be dominating the field. Ooh, that was dirty and lucky. Somehow that 6-pounder got set up and tied down in like double quick time, man. It can just completely wrecked that poor Puma. And just like that, it may look like there might be breath still in the British hopes. I mean, not much of one, honestly. It's still pretty rough. Especially as the German player over here starts picking up a Panzer IV, which might be the final nail in the lid of this coffin for our brave Irish-British player. But of course, now that I think about it, maybe the Irish player is definitely playing like this so that way he can take advantage of the fact that the Brits oppressed his people for so many hundreds of years. But hey, I'm just spitballing at this point, so I couldn't necessarily tell you for sure. But here come the Obersoldaten. Actually, they're back out in the field now, and they're coming up with an LMG, which is definitely going to throw every single one of these fights into their favor. Just completely and totally murder these poor Tommies from long range. And I don't know exactly how this is going to really kind of turn back into kind of any real effect here. Surprised that these folks are not just charging in here to kind of stop that decap. But it looks like he may pick up a squad here. Maybe. No, and Jesse Jackson over there gets away with just a bit of time. Have the whole chariot to fire thing going on there, sprinting off in the snow. And here comes that Panzer IV at the same time. So as the map kind of calms down a little bit, it's kind of interesting to note that even with a Vanguard commander, which I don't really see has been getting a whole lot of usage so far, the Irish hasn't really opened up a whole lot of second fronts here. In the meantime, Jove has not picked a commander at all, and is definitely showing why he is such a dominant player in this scene. And something I kind of noticed so far is that commanders definitely enhance the player, but they don't make or break the player. And like I said to you guys before, if you definitely want to learn from one of the best out there, you definitely want to watch Jove. He's got a lot of stuff going on for him. And now with the Panzer IV revealing itself, the AEC is definitely going to see itself as being outclassed. But there's nothing else on the field besides one single 6-pounder. That's just rough. It's really rough. And with this 4-star Volksgrenadiers up here, the game is just getting more and more lopsided. So right now, it's time for you to bolt. Yes, there you go. So surprisingly enough, that 6-pounder gets a shot on that Panzer IV, but I guess this kind of makes sense with Jove redeploying his troops. And, interesting. So the Obersoldaten are forced away by the AEC, and he continues to pick on just other troops instead. Maybe he's probably going to hopefully just, I would say, force these Royal Engineers away. Screw the other guys, but the Royal Engineers can't really do a whole lot. And geez, 18 minutes in, and we already see such a dominating performance from Jove on this map. A second AEC coming out. I really don't agree with this at all. I really would have liked to have seen a lot more teching up opportunities happening here. That's 120 fuel. That really has absolutely no point in the map. He's not establishing any real local superiority, or else this map would be a heck of a lot more red than it is. It looks a little bit true blue right now for my tastes, but hey, I will say Jove has definitely kept poor Irish dancing over here. Well, minor gripe. I would say these Sturmpires should be repairing while actually being inside the fuel point. But hey, it's really hard to find fault with what's going on in this map. And of course now he picks up Elite Armored Doctrine just on the off chance he really gets his way down to a Sturmtiger, which he should be able to support pretty darn quickly. Yeah, with the next minute or so we're going to see a Sturmtiger on the field, and that will just be just shock. Raw shock. Oh, I was going to back away to see what happens as AEC comes in here, but Surprisingly enough, he's not doing too badly. Oh, you know what? Because that 6-pounder is still in here as well, isn't it? So maybe that Panzer IV is not the dominating performance I thought it would be.
Being made available to the infantry.
And finally, we see AT grenades coming out as well, it sounds like. I might be wrong on that one as well. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I was a little bit surprised by that. There was a slight misplay there on Joe's part, I would say. I would think that one Panzer IV should at least be able to trade out with a couple of these vehicles. And just when I thought that I was going to count him out, there's 25 points left, so maybe Jove was just going to play the VP game. But just when I think he's knocked off the Irish picks up a small but substantial victory nonetheless. Question is, can he really pick up another VP? Again, this place down here has just been dominated so much. So yeah, guys, excuse me. This is definitely going on pretty darn quickly here. I like this. It's always so good, but so underutilized, I feel like. And these Obosoldatan might just be... Oh, he's just being just a jerky decap. Time to run, exactly. Cool. And that Sturmtiger can definitely come in, but I don't think that's going to happen too quickly. In fact, I don't think it's going to happen at all. There's really no point to it. Even as the Obosoldatan get forced off, we did see some weird losses coming here from Jove. But it's not going to mean diddly squat, with the Schwerpanzer still covering the center part of the map, the southern VP not even being touched.
We're losing a capture point.
My mind was kind of curious to see whether or not the scuba wagon makes it. I'm going to say no, considering the amount of fire it's going to get in about 2 seconds. And just to kind of frustrate that decap, guys, I think that's going to be the game. And unfortunately, a quick game at that. So, yeah, wow, that was a lot quicker than I was expecting it going to be, but I admit that Jove honestly played that match rather well, and unfortunately Irish was not able to kind of keep pace with him. You take a look at the units tab that we have, it kind of tells the tale of the tape, even though we had some bad losses over here on Jove's side with that Panzer IV and that first Kubelwagen, which I think both could have been avoided in terms of losses, and a couple of incidental infantry losses. Just look at veterancy at the end of the round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not going to do addition for you guys out there, but I'm pretty sure it comes out to right around the area of, what, 15? It's pretty brutal. Look on the other side at the same time, we got 7. A lot of pain was laid down on the Irish, and unfortunately it didn't really happen exactly like he was hoping it to. That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you like what you've seen, please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And hopefully I will see you guys again soon for another round of Company of Heroes 2 Fight Night. I love doing it for you guys. I'll catch you guys soon. This is Conal Work signing off. Take it easy.